Let me ask you something. Have you ever opened your hive in early spring, placed a commercial pollen patty on the frames, and a week later it's melted and dripping into the brood nest? You are not alone. We've been there too, and after trying every major commercial patty on the market, we stopped using them completely. Why? Because most of them aren't designed to help your bees grow. They are designed to sell, to ship well, to store long, and look a clean packaging. We've been making your own patties since 2011, and in this video I am going to explain exactly why we left commercial patties behind and how our homemade formula delivers explosive colony development even weeks earlier than usual. Let's get into it. First, let's break down how commercial patties are made and why that's a problem. Most beekeepers assume they are made from powder, sugar and protein. But in reality, almost all commercial patties are built around glucose syrup and very often without any real sugar powder at all. Why glucose? Maybe because it's cheap and keeps the patty looking moist and shiny in the packaging. From shipping and branding perspective, it's perfect. But for your bees, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Here's what happens when you place the patty in the hive. Below 20 Celsius, it stays solid enough and bees take it. As soon as the inside of the hive reaches 24 to 25 Celsius or more, the patty softens too much. It begins to spread and bees starting depositing it into open cells, blocking space where the queen should be laying. So, instead of stimulation, you get congestion. And if it sits too long, it may begin to ferment and after entirely rejected by the colony. We've seen this dozens of times in the field. The truth is, these patties are designed to look good, not to develop a strong bees. When we first started using commercial patties in 2010 to 2011, we hoped for better results. We started early. The weather was ideal. The colonies were ready, but still the development didn't happen how we wanted. At first glance, the bees were eating the patties, so it looked like everything was fine. But after weeks of observation, we noticed something critical. They were consuming them, but not responding very well. There was no significant brood expansion, no clear signs of a good and effective stimulation, just passive feeding. It was like giving them syrup without purpose. Yes, we have a development, but isn't was the best what we want from your colonies. That's when we started investigating what was really happening, and what we found changed everything. We began to test patties with natural food coloring in different colors to track how they were used. And here's what we discovered. With commercial patties, between 50 to 75% the material was being stored directly into the brood cells, often mixed with honey. So instead of stimulation, the patty became just another stored carbohydrate, blocking the queen's laying space. Complete contradiction of what stimulation should be. Now, compare that to your homemade patties, which are firmer, biologically rich, and built on powdered sugar. We tested them with the same natural food coloring method. And guess what? Zero storage in the frames, because the bees consumed them directly, exactly as indeed. Yes, the consume was slower, but the result is totally different. That's not a coincidence. That's design. When we make patties, we are not just giving food, we are triggering biological signals throughout. Real pollen or pollen substitutes, essential amino acids, medicinal plants, compounds, propolis tincture, royal jelly, and key immune and brood supporting nutrients. This creates true stimulation, not just feeding. And one more thing, let's talk about energetic patties. Those pure bricks from glucose syrup, sold without any real protein, pollen or nutritional value, they are basically expensive syrup in solid form. And in my opinion, they are a complete waste of time and money. They do nothing for colony development, nothing for brood, and nothing for real stimulation. We don't touch them. Every patty we use is proteic, loaded with the nutrients bee need for serious growth. Because we don't feed for the sake of feeding, we feed for results. Now, let me show how what makes your patties different and effective. Base ingredient. We use powdered sugar as the foundation, not glucose syrup, and for the humidity we use fructose syrup, a more suitable option to create a great patty. But we don't use fructose syrup as main element for your patties. This gives the patty structure, keeps it firm even at 30 degrees Celsius, controlled by heating F14 corn syrup fructose to 75 Celsius, then adding ingredients in the right order. As it cools down to 40 to 50 Celsius, we mix in the sensitive components like sugar powder, pollen substitute, royal jelly, propolis tincture, essential amino acids, white wormwood, and other medicinal plant extracts. Main formula for 40 to 45 kilogram batch for 80 to 19 colonies is the next ingredients. Sugar powder 20 to 30 kilograms, brewer's yeast 5 to 6 kilogram, soy flour 5 to 6 kilogram, F14 syrup 12 to 14 kilograms, hot pepper 250 grams, rapeseed oil 500 milliliters, royal jelly 124 grams, probiotics 250 milliliters, propolis tincture 100 milliliter, white wormwood extract 100 milliliter, fumagillin 100 to 215 grams, hive alive 100 milliliter, and essential oils optional. Warm and soft but stable. This texture is what makes the difference. Easy to digest, doesn't collapse, and never runs into the frames, even in the warm spring hives. Biological activation. Your patties are made not just to feed, but to activate the bees' development system, boosting vitellogenin levels, supporting immune function, preparing the nurse bee to raise larvae at full capacity. The results? By to mid-March, your colonies already sit on 8 to 10 frames of solid brood. That's weeks ahead of what we used to get with commercial patties. We've seen more balanced build-up, less stress in the colony, earlier queen readiness for grafting, and higher success rates in early splits and swarm control. Plus, when combined with for ultimate feeding system, which delivers 300 milliliters of syrup per day in 3 to time doses, this patty acts as the perfect protein complement timed with the bee's actual needs. It's not just nutrition, it's a development protocol, it's a strategy. And that's why we never looked back. So if you are still using commercial patties and not seeing the results you hoped for, you are not doing anything wrong. They are just not made in the first place for stunning bee development. But once you start building your own and matching the texture, nutrients, and stimulation timing to your bees and biology, you'll see the difference in a single season. If you want to access to the full formula, our mixing process, and the stimulation schedule we use in the field, I share it all inside your community at modernbeekeepingjourney.com. We are also working on a full ultimate feeding system course, how to build it, automate it, and apply the exact syrup and protein strategies we use year round. Drop your thoughts or question in the comments. I respond to every single one. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because in the next video I address one of the biggest concerns I hear from beekeepers. Those syrup feeding during stimulation end up in your honey? We are going to break down exactly how your system ensures that 95 to 98% of the syrup is consumed, not stored, why it doesn't mix into the main flow, and how we tested and proven this over years of practice. It's going to be an important one, so make sure you don't miss it. Thanks for watching. I am Oscar, and this is the intelligent real-world beekeeping journey. Until next time, keep buzzing.